This week on See Here's the Thing.
It just came up from behind and grabbed my butt and bit it.
There's no sex in the champagne room.
Acting like a turd today.
And let me step back 3 steps and button my shirt back up.
Some sort of game where you see how high you can get Fred Mertz's pants before they hit his armpits.
Did you enter Lucy's mouth?
Slip in, sneak in, punch in, any way we can get it in.
Pop it in.
Pop it in, just the tip.
There's no earthly way of knowing.
and the beast comes.
I can't believe it's not communion.
She was quite the sucker.
Is this storm always following me?
Yeah, spit them out, people. Let's go.
You made it. It's episode 56 of See Here's the Thing, and it's going to start right about now.
To another episode of See Here's the Thing. I am one of your hosts, Kate, and I am yet again joined by what's the word I'm
all
looking
this
for?
prep you do.
I do, but I don't prep for the word. I purposely leave it out there so I can improvise it as it comes along. And today you are my shining star co-host,
wow.
Patrick.
Oh, thank you. That's very, very kind.
Oh, well, you know, you are the on-air talent, as you say.
Well, why do you preface it by saying, as you say?
Because you have said that.
Yeah, and others have as well.
No, that is not true.
Show
me the link. Show me the clickbait that says that.
I'll show you the link.
Click this link to see why Patrick's the on-air talent. 10 ways why.
Number 7 will shock you.
I was appalled when I read number 8. Anyway. So how are you?
I'm tired.
You seem to be...
It's been a long week.
I think if I were to go back every episode for the past 5 episodes, you say you're tired every time.
That sounds about right.
Maybe you need a little vacation.
Maybe I
Maybe
do.
a little southern sunshine.
I'm okay with that.
Next week. What do you say?
I'm okay with that.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
We're going to Disney.
Okay, that's it.
We literally are, though.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, we're going to Disney World next week to get away and to enjoy the lovely Florida sun and humidity.
Yay! So excited.
But before we do that,
yeah.
we have to record episode 56.
Fantastic.
With our wonderful guests today, all the way from Blazing Caribou Studios, we have Carrie Sims and Phil Rude.
Yay.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. How was your weeks?
Long and crazy like yours. I was kind of sick in the beginning of the week, and then I got a little bit better, and then I realized I was behind on everything, so I had to speed that up along, and I'm going to Branson tomorrow.
Ooh.
Because...
Branson?
Yeah, going to Branson.
You're going to Branson because you hate excitement.
Yeah. I've never been there, but it's on the way to his dad's house, so we're going to go see his dad.
Branson
we're going down there and spending a little bit of R&R ourselves. And just crazy stuff happening. Dog acting like a turd today, and just everybody, it's just like, trying to get everything all together. So, long week. Looking forward to the weekend.
I think there's something in the air. I really do. There's something,
right?
There's craziness everywhere.
Is your dog all right?
Yes. Wolverine is fine.
Wolverine.
He had the royal carpet treatment at the vet.
So he scooted?
They just absolutely adore him.
Aww.
And they think he's the cutest dog ever. And I'm like, don't let him fool you. This is how he is. He gets everything he wants. So, but he's just...
Whose fault is
he's
that?
got... He's a mute dog, which is first hilarious, and his name is Wolverine.
He's wait, hang on. A mute?
So
yes.
He's sign language. He uses sign language.
Yes. He paws. He paws things. No, but he doesn't bark. It's sad and also so amazing at the same time because I never have to hear that dog bark, and it's great. But it's also kind of cute because he's learned how to do things in different ways. Like to tell me like he needs to go outside. He'll go to the door and he'll scratch the window like 3 times, and he'll be like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay. And if he needs food, he'll go to his food dish and he'll paw at that, and you can hear chick 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 chick. So it's kind of neat that he's kind of learned a different language with me. Yeah. But at the same time, he's so darn cute. You just give him everything all the time.
Amazing how we communicate.
Cats hate me. I mean,
Me
I come
too.
across a cat that actually likes me, it truly shocks me, and I feel like they're plotting. Like it's just a ploy.
The first time I ever was trying to be nice to a cat, because normally I just avoid them, and I have a severe allergy to them, and that's probably why I don't like them. I think my body's just telling me stay away from them. But the first time I ever tried to like get near a cat and be like, "Oh, hi, kitty, kitty, kitty," it bit me in the butt.
Oh boy, you shouldn't have turned around.
Were you talking through your butt to begin with?
No, I was like sitting in a chair, and it was like, just leaning over to the side, and I was going to grab, just kind of pet the little nose on it, and it just came up from behind and grabbed my butt and bit it.
See,
that was my interaction with a cat, and I was like, "Okay, don't like you."
my relationship with cats is a little bit different. I don't like cats. I'm actually a little allergic to cats. When I touch them and touch my face, my eyeballs swell up. Mm-hmm. So as a result of that, every cat wants to sit in my lap.
Of course.
Yeah.
Every cat wants to crawl on me and rub their tail in my eyes. I don't know what that is. And by tail, I mean their anus.
Oh, boy. Okay, all right. I was going to say that's just like how I was attracted to you, but not the last part. That part's different. That's why I'm getting married.
Put your anus in his face? Isn't that how you got him? Isn't that how you hooked this one?
We're actually going to do that for our wedding reception.
Wow.
Our first dance.
And now I'm excited.
Excellent. I was kind of...
I can't wait to see what the dollar dance is all about.
That's going to be with actual cats. We're just going to let feral cats
I had never heard of this thing, the dollar dance.
Dollar dance? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Now, you guys have heard of it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I've been in weddings, and we've discussed, I've had a few. But I've been in weddings. I've never seen this done, and I don't know if it's because I'm from the north.
No, we're up north.
Northern Michigan. But I've never heard of it. And so James was discussing it with me. He's like, well, we'll get this and this, and then there's a dollar dance. I'm like, what do I have to do for this dollar?
Make your dollar. You make it work.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it naughty? And he's like, no, you just, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, I'm all nervous. And he's like, it's no big deal. Yeah. Just dance with people. I'm like,
I always have a problem with that.
I would assume that the better you dance, the more dollars you get.
Oh, boy.
Is this right?
No, it's not. You pay $1, you get to dance with the bride or groom for a period of seconds.
Well,
just you pay more? Do you get to dance with her longer?
I don't think so. I think it's a timed. Usually, it's like a timed thing. Anybody else help me? Phil, do you know this?
Yeah. If you, it's the line forms. It's like filling out the dance card in the old days. And you pay the $1 or whatever, and for $100, the bride will take you in the champagne room. And oh no, wait, that's the bachelor party. Never mind.
That's fine. There's no sex in the champagne room. Just remember that.
All right, so here's Wikipedia for you. Wikipedia says the money dance, dollar dance, or apron dance is an event at some wedding receptions in various cultures. During a money dance, male guests pay to dance briefly with the bride, and sometimes female guests pay to dance with the groom. The custom originated in Poland in the early 1900s in immigrant neighborhoods.
Interesting.
Sometimes the guests are told the money will be used for the bride and groom's honeymoon or to give them a little extra cash to which to set up their housekeeping.
So what if you're that person that like the dollar dance finishes and then you walk up to the bride and you're like, you want to dance?
And the bride's like, no.
You had your chance.
You had your chance. Pony up.
It's going to cost you.
Yeah, I think it's a little tacky myself.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I also, it's like inviting a bunch of people, having them spend money on gifts and making themselves look presentable, and then saying, oh, by the way, give me more money.
Give me $1.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. That's where I was like, oh, wow. It's like you have to ask for money at the place, and it's like you've already done the bridal shower, which is always awkward because now everything's so different now. It's like, do you do just the females or do you do like a group thing where the men can come, but the men don't really want to come at all. So why are you even doing that? Yeah. And then, so you've got money coming in there, and then you have the actual, wedding itself, and people are bringing gifts and money, and then you got this. I'm like, man, and I'm like, and I feel bad because we have a destination wedding because we're, I've got people from Michigan coming in, and I've got people from Illinois coming in, and I'm like, you guys this is going to cost you.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry. I'm trying to keep it cheap,
don't bring extra cash.
It's going to cost you.
Well, here's the last question I have on this. Does it require a thank you note afterwards?
I guess it would depend on how dirty the dance gets. Like, you may be so impressed. You're like, Thank you so much for that. Here's my credit card. Will you charge it?
No,
if the bride's dress is cut low enough, I thank her. That's just the way I do it. I'm a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
I tip my hat to you, sir.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Well, first off, today we have to thank our newest Patreon sponsor, who is TJ Faulkner. Woo! TJ has joined our League of Patreon sponsors, along with David and Megan and Judy, who will one day sign up. She's at least given me the money to pledge. She just can't figure out how to follow through on Patreon, but TJ says, as he joined, this is without a doubt the singular most amazing podcast ever created. Like, serious, this podcast deserves an EGOT. I am proud to support you guys. Consider it as a weekly payment of $0.25 in return for Patrick's stellar impressions.
Aww.
Or as I like to think of them, starts out British, but they end up Yiddish.
Aww.
Thanks for the laughs and good times. Keep on keeping on. I love y'all. We're doing it live.
Excellent.
Thanks, TJ.
Thanks, TJ.
And we also got a really awesome review on iTunes this past week. It is titled The Power of Twitter. 5 stars. So happy to have found this podcast through Twitter. So Here's the Thing is top-notch. From an audio quality and content perspective, you can just tell that they genuinely care about the quality of the show. Kate and Patrick have fantastic chemistry. Their back-and-forth banter is hysterical. They cover fun topics and play really entertaining games. 100% subscribe recommendation. Keep up the great work. And that is from Dan, who hosts the Dan and Cody podcast. So thanks,
nice.
Dan, and thanks, TJ.
Yeah. Very cool.
Very, very cool. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/See Here's the Thing.
We'll get to all that at the end.
Or right now. Since we have the time.
Sure.
Why don't you just go put $1 in Carrie's low-cut bridal dress, and I'll take care of this.
And I'll say thank you.
Very good. If you also want to leave us a review on iTunes, you just got to boot up iTunes and search for See Here's the Thing and leave us a little review and make it entertaining. We love entertaining reviews.
Or boring ones.
Or dull, dry ones are just as good. We'll make them lively with our voices.
Sure.
But anyway, let's get to the news clips of the week. What do you say? You say yay? Nay? Why are you being quiet? I'll unbutton my shirt. Hang on.
No, that's not it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do this every week.
Yeah, and you know what? One of these days, I'm not gonna stop you. It's just not gonna happen. I'm telling you.
You're just gonna walk out of the room.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna let it go. We're gonna go through the whole podcast without it.
Let me step back 3 steps and button my shirt back up. That didn't work.
Thank you,
Patrick. Would you like to tell Carrie and Phil about our word of the day?
Our word of the I would be honored to.
Oh,
thank
great.
you, Kate. Carrie and Phil, we do a word of the podcast, a word we try to slip in, sneak in, punch in, any way we can get it in.
Pop it in,
just the tip. But try to get the word in as much as you can without anybody else figuring it out. So the word of the podcast to be used in any form will be the word tickle.
Tickle. As in tickle me Elmo.
Or any other form
I'm
of that
tickled
word.
pink.
Tickled.
Got it.
All right?
Tickle.
That's what I want to do at a wedding.
I was just thinking that. I feel like if I say it, I'm going to get slimed.
How about instead of a dollar dance, you do a tickle dance at the wedding?
That does not sound pleasant at all.
Tickle the bride.
I will not be in attendance.
I would punch somebody.
Right?
I'm one of those people, like, you start tickling me, I'm like, ha ha, poof, and you just start getting violent for no reason.
Yep, I understand that.
You can't be blamed for your reactions when someone tickles you.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't.
You can't
at all.
That doesn't count.
Well, since we were just talking about money to start, of the dollar dance, let's talk about something else that's expensive in the world right now, something that's selling out places. Disney World, as we talked about last episode, opened the Pandora world, the world of Avatar in Animal Kingdom, and of course, along with the opening came long wait times and also merchandise that people have been buying in droves. So if you are aware of the movie Avatar, you know that at one sequence they ride an animal called a banshee, which is a huge dragon-like creature. And apparently Disney World decided that they're going to sell their own banshees, and that's what they've been doing until now, because they're on a pause, because they have now all sold out. They are about $50 each, and they are tiny. They sit on your shoulder, and they make noises, apparently, and you can sort of puppet them. But people have been going nuts over these little tiny toys at Animal Kingdom, but you cannot get them right now. They are sold out.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm not. That's not my thing. I would never purchase that.
That's not your thing. What would you purchase?
Really, not much.
You're not a merchandise guy?
No, I'm not.
Carrie and Phil, do you like to buy merchandise when you go to theme parks?
We were just last summer and went to the Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
And I walked through that whole park a couple of times and was looking for something to bring home, but it just nothing like stuck out. Like
you didn't buy
for my
wand?
daughter, for sure. Like she got a wand and like a robe, and I don't know, a ticket to like Harry Potter World Forever. I don't know. she's like a big Harry Potter fan, but for me, I was just like, I'm good. I don't really need stuff. I'm not a stuff kind of person. I never have been, unless you're talking about Westworld, and then the Funko Pops are really cute.
Yeah, I have seen them. They are pretty darn
but
cute.
other than that, I'm not like I like art. I'm a big art person, and so I was looking more towards that. But then you get in that park, and it's so expensive. It's like, you want a picture of? Oh, I did buy a picture of Popeye. I did.
Oh,
and I got a Lucy cup. I forgot my Lucy wine glass that I drink from. So, yes, I bought something. But it was more of a memento, more than anything. It's like I gotta have it. Like I gotta have this little dragon or something, or I'm gonna die.
As in Lucille Ball?
Yes.
Oh heavens!
Like your fascination with Disney is the same as my Lucy fascination.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
you know where
creepy.
Kate's from.
Like it's.
I thought you meant Lucy, the Scarlett Johansson movie. I'm like, what were they selling a Lucy cup at Disney for?
No, my Lucy wine glass.
I can only imagine what the handle is.
Or 3 times a week, or every night.
Do you know? You do understand where Kate is from, don't you?
Where?
Jamestown, New York.
Really?
The birthplace.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm a dipper from way back.
See, we're kind of like kindred spirits there.
You like... I love Disney and you love Lucy, and
right?
I have to say I know where her house is. I know where her grave site is.
It's
oh my god, that's like on my list of things to do. Like we're gonna take a trip in a couple of years out to like Boston area, and like we're stopping there on the way. I'm like, we gotta stop. We gotta do this whole Lucy thing, and then we'll keep going. Actually, what really made me sad, they used to have like a Lucy exhibit at Universal, and it was gone when I got there last year, and I was completely just heartbroken. Yeah. But they did have the little Walk of Fame thing, the little California, like, with her name on the ground kind of a thing. So I got a picture with that, and I'm like, I guess this will work.
Well, when you come up, Kate will give you a personal tour.
I'm doing it.
I will burst your bubble a little bit in saying that I don't really care for Lucy so much, simply because it's such a big thing in Jamestown, and they capitalize on it with all the festivals they have, and they had a Lucy Town half marathon that runs you around Celeron and the surrounding area so that you go by her house, and it's just it's so much Lucy, too much Lucy.
Yeah.
But that's intriguing. There was a Universal attraction for Lucy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was, and it's kind of gone now. So there was like a Lucy, I can't remember, it was like a Lucy shop and a Lucy this and a Lucy that, and they were like, oh, we just took that down. And they all had also just taken down my other freak out is the Back to the Future stuff. Oh, and I'm like, really? I'm like, why am I here? I'm here for Harry Potter. I'm like, really? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't care about Harry Potter. My daughter does. And I was like, all right, we're going for this. And so we ended up spending most of our time like with The Simpsons.
Yeah, that is a cool ride.
Yeah, because that's really cool. And Marvel. We were like through all of that and the Spider-Man stuff. So like, all right, I can handle this. This is fine. But I was still kind of grumpy about it.
So my question for the group then is, if Universal were to decide tomorrow that we're going to make a Lucy-based attraction, what would that attraction be? What would this ride be like?
Phil, what do you think?
I think it would be some sort of game where you see how high you can get Fred Mertz's pants before they hit his armpits.
Phil,
sorry.
Phil, maybe would this be like...
it would probably honestly involve something like a conveyor belt, and they would run you through a chocolate factory or something like that.
That would be great.
Would you be the chocolate? Would you enter Lucy's mouth?
Oh my
God. In her top, in her dress.
The trippiest Willy Wonka boat ride ever in real life.
There's no earthly way of knowing. Or maybe with the idea with the pants, maybe it's like one of those drop thrill rides that you're at the top of Fred's pants.
You're Fred Mertz's belt buckle, and they just drop you.
if you'd like to talk to us, we have a few ideas.
Yeah.
Anything,
Give 'em a call.
Patrick?
Well, the only thing I was thinking of is some kind of wine stomping ride.
Of course.
And then you drink your own foot-soaked wine.
And everybody else's.
No. You stomp your own grapes and you drink your own wine, and that's how that works.
It could be like, you know how they have the Popeye Riptide Falls? Not Popeye. It's
Dudley
Dudley Do-Right. Maybe you float on a purple river of wine.
Ooh, that's not gross. Yeah, that'd be great.
And the whole time, throughout the entire ride, the only soundtrack you hear is wah.
Oh, God.
The whole time.
It's like a Small World.
It's a horror ride.
It's like a Small World. But
yes.
Yeah, it just drives you insane slowly over like a half hour.
I'm already insane from this little episode right here. So anyway, moving on from that, learned this week that since they released the DVD for Beauty and the Beast, along came with it some very interesting extras. And one of the deleted scenes from this movie featured a character that never got any screen time in the film. And as you know, in the movie, all of the castle staff, all the servants, are transformed into a item. A candelabra, a coat rack, a clock, but there was one item that we didn't get to see, and that was a toilet. That is correct. Somebody in the castle was turned into a toilet. His name was... What's that?
Go on.
His name was Monsieur Toilette.
Was it the Beast's toilet? Because I feel really bad for him.
I did not go into detail to see necessarily whose toilet it was.
And Chip's like, I have it bad. The toilet's like, you have no idea.
The toilet's just shaking in the corner. And they actually had like a person was voicing it. It was a tiny little clip. It was a British actor that voiced it.
Of course.
So I'm not really wanting to talk about this like news clip. I want to hear more deleted characters from the movie. What else was left out that we could have possibly seen in this film?
Actually, we got the DVD.
Yes.
Recently, and we discovered that the other character that's on the deleted scenes is Lady BoobTube.
Okay.
She's a television.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that the Beast had TV.
Mm-hmm. Big knobs.
Big knobs.
Big knobs on that TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady BoobTube.
Lady BoobTube.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
I must have missed that. Guys, did you know of any other characters that were deleted?
Oh God. I didn't see this movie.
Even
kill
better.
me, and I never saw the first one.
Oh no.
Wow.
I know, it's
wow.
Disney. I know.
You're the one.
I just didn't. I don't know why. I feel bad. I'm like, I don't even know what to go with this. I don't know. I could.
But did you ever see the TV series with Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton?
Oh, sure.
Heck
No.
yeah. Oh.
No. And this is where she's going to kill me. Like how she said she's not a big Lucy fan, but she'll do it. You know, I'm the same about Disney. It's like, yeah, I'll do it, but I'm not a huge Disney fan. Not a huge movie Disney.
Well, Phil,
okay.
Phil, do you have any characters that were missed?
I was going to say there was a snuff box that turned back into that weird cousin of yours that sniffs and has a cold all the time and is spending way too much time in the bathroom at Thanksgiving.
Do you have a name?
But other than that, no, I couldn't really pinpoint anything else that they missed. They seem to have all the furniture. And yeah, a toilet was about the only thing missing. I was really surprised to hear that they actually have a scene of a toilet fight.
Yeah. Well, actually, there were a couple other characters that were missed.
Oh, do tell, Patrick.
Yeah. One was Lady Hoover.
Okay.
Lady Hoover, the vacuum cleaner. Mm-hmm. She was quite the sucker.
Okay.
Yeah. And, of course, the Lord Lush, the minibar.
Oh, I would have been there a lot.
He slurs all of his words and spills things.
I'd love to see, like, if he was a cart, he's just constantly tipping to the side, like, constantly rolling away.
Lord Lush, what?
Come back. Where are you going?
Sort of drifting a little bit.
He's voiced by Foster Brooks. and the beast comes. He's voiced by Foster. Anybody know who Foster Brooks is?
I do not know who Foster Brooks is.
Oh, God, you
he's
people.
he's an old guy, isn't he?
Yeah,
like
he's
crazy looking hair. Didn't he do like a Harry Carey impersonation?
He didn't do Harry Carey, but he did this guy that always like burp through words. He did like the puke take that we love on Jimmy Fallon. He did puke take all the time.
Oh, I love puke.
Oh yeah. I know.
He would
what
do
you're
like,
talking about.
I had 2 bottles of beer today.
Yeah.
I always thought that was Colbert and Carell.
No, it started by Foster Brooks. Look it up, people. Look it up.
Oh, the puke take is like my favorite thing ever. The ones that Colbert has done with Emily Blunt and John Krasinski are just, if you've never seen them, you need to Google them right now because he has them read lines from famous movies, and it's hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical. So moving on from that, let's see, what else can I throw at you guys? Have you guys seen Sharknado?
I have seen no Sharknado.
Neither have I.
Neither have I. Patrick?
Nope, I've not seen a single one.
Virgin Sharknados.
Wow, we're looking at 4 people who have things to do.
Yeah.
People with adult lives.
Responsibilities and everything.
Well, whether or not you wanted it or not, or even were aware of it, there's a Sharknado 5 happening.
Wow, why?
Was
the demand so high after Sharknado 4?
Apparently.
Did nobody die in Sharknado 4?
Oh, no, I'm sure there was a lot of deaths.
So, what do you know about it?
Well, I know that it has a title. Do you want to guess what the title is?
Sharknado 5, The Last...
Airbender.
The last of these.
One. The last one.
The last one.
We promise. Well, no, it's not called that, shockingly enough. It's called Sharknado 5, Global Swarming.
Oh, damn it, I should have seen that.
Now, here is the description. The film will focus on Finn Shepard, played by Ian Ziering.
Can you please not call it a film?
I'm sorry, Phil. I'm sorry. The I don't want to call it an indie.
No,
it's on Sci-Fi. The disaster.
There we go.
We'll focus on Finn Shepard.
Garbage pile of steaming poo.
Dumpster fire.
I am so sorry I wasn't more specific. Now you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Finn Shepard and his wife April Wexler, who is played by the talented Tara Reid. It's about their son.
What?
It's about their son getting whirled around the world in a tornado.
Isn't Tara Reid dead?
I don't know.
No?
Apparently not.
Nope, just topless.
Unless
Not
she's
yet?
CGI,
All right,
which I don't think that's true.
No, they don't have the money for CGI. That would be adorable.
Oh my god. So, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is not because I really want to see this, but there are insane cameos, which may just get me to tune in at some point. But here is who is going to be in the film. You've got Fabio as the Pope, of course.
Of course.
Clay Aiken.
I can't believe it's not communion.
You've got Clay Aiken as a cutting-edge technology genius named Llewellyn. Olivia Newton-John and her daughter as scientists who help defend Australia from a looming Sharknado.
They get a little physical. It's all good.
That's
Is it
right.
physical science?
Physics? Full science?
Physics.
The Queen of England is played by none other than Charo.
She's still alive?
Yep. Or CGI, but I doubt that again.
Last I heard of her, she was on the Love Boat. And last I heard of the Love Boat was like 1980. So.
It tickles me that we are still talking about Sharknado.
What did
Wait,
you get?
Charo plays the Prime Minister or the Queen of England?
Charo is the Queen of England.
Charo.
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 Charo plays
That
the
Charo.
Queen of England.
Yes, that Charo plays the Queen of
Oh, who casted this? This is great.
Keep going.
We got-
Oh, I think this movie has a fan. I think we haven't found which one of us is going to break first and watch a Sharknado movie.
This was the game.
I'm out. It's me first.
Carrie is tickled pink that it is Charo.
Look at you.
I got it. And I'm not done yet. Gilbert Gottfried as a storm chaser.
Oh, there's a big surprise. That's an incredible. I think I'm going to have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
What?
Yep. Margaret.
Why is this storm always following me? It's kind of like sharks in it. I can't. Why?
My vote is for him to die first.
You've got comedian Margaret Cho as a fussy bride whose honeymoon is interrupted by sharks. And one more, Tony Hawk as a masterful weapons operative strategist.
Who can skateboard?
Apparently can skateboard. Brett Michaels.
Do a double eagle 360 off of a rail. So yeah.
I actually just yesterday broke out my N64 Tony Hawk game. That thing is still entertaining to play. And there it is. That's all I wanted to say.
All right.
There you go.
Noted.
Let's see here. There's even Brett Michaels. We've got
He's still alive?
There's a guy that plays a White Walker in Game of Thrones who's going to be in the movie. I mean,
whoever casted this just basically said, you know what? I feel really sorry for a lot of our actors that are in Hollywood that haven't worked in a long time. Let's get them all together and make a movie.
Right?
Let's see how that does.
I'll just throw a few more. I'm not even done. I have a whole other article about who else is in it, but we have Greg Louganis.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Nope. Nope.
Chris Kattan.
Oh, nope.
Oh, jeez.
Al Roker. And Kathy Lee Gifford and Hoda Kotb.
All right, I changed my mind to who I want to die first.
Who's that?
You know what? Throw them all in the blender. I don't care.
Perhaps a Sharknado.
A Sharknado.
From a Sharknado. Yeah. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing another film about sharks and tornadoes and weathermen and NBC stars that apparently are pretty bored, tune into Sharknado 5. Global Swarming.
Coming to a VHS close to you.
It'll be on the Sci-Fi
It'll
Network.
be straight to VHS.
Going right to Netflix as soon as it comes out.
Oh my God. Well, tell you what, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk some more about, let's see, Zac Efron, who has just been cast in a new role that is going to be kind of surprising, and we're going to talk about some Last Jedi tidbits after our break. So stick with us, we'll be back.
Do you like sci-fi, AI, and technology? Do you enjoy going on tangents and down random rabbit holes of a subject? Then join me and my friends each week on Brokebot Mountain as some artificially intelligent people attempt to walk through a maze that explores themes of existence and free thought in sci-fi TV, movies, and books. The conversations are unique and bring an unusual perspective to the genre and can literally go anywhere. And we do mean anywhere. You can find us at blazingcariboustudios.com or look for Brokebot Mountain on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, or anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, guess who's here?
Who's here?
David Mitchell.
Wait, isn't that guy from Alan Act?
No, All in Act. Hey, he's here to tell us about his schedule.
His schedule? Like what he does every day?
We want to know his BMs.
Oh, I have 2. And I mean number 2.
Dave's here to talk about his upcoming schedule for All in Act.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Tell us all about your spring schedule for All in Act Theater.
Our spring schedule has some really great stuff coming up. First of all, we are opening in April 28th through May with Ken Ludwig's fantastic, hilarious farce, Lend Me a Tenor, followed by our student production in June of William Shakespeare's classic Romeo and Juliet.
I hear that's a comedy.
Oh, well, I'm sure it has funny moments.
What else are you guys doing?
Oh, well, we're following that up in September, October with Sleuth, followed by The Crucible by Arthur Miller, and we're ending the year with Ray Cooney's hilarious farce, Tom, Dick, and Harry.
If anybody wanted to go find out more information about All in Act or the upcoming productions, where might they go?
Oh, you might go to www.allanact.net. Not Allen's Act, Allanact, ALLANACT.net. All in Act Theater is located at 652 West 17th Street in Erie, Pennsylvania. $1 of every admission is donated to Community Shelter Services and helps Erie's homeless. We are located at 652 West 17th Street, Erie, PA. You can also get us at allanact.net. To date, we have raised over $39,000 for Erie's homeless.
That's fantastic.
You can also find All in Act on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And they are also proud sponsors of See Here's the Thing.
Erie's best entertainment value. Theater lives here.
Welcome back, listeners. We're sitting here with Phil Root and Carrie Sims from the Blazing Caribou Studios Network. We did not get a chance to talk about their stuff. So, guys, where can our listeners find you? What shows do you appear on? And, I don't know, perhaps what is your favorite hobby besides podcasting?
Carrie and I do 2 shows on Blazing Caribou. We do Brokebot Mountain, where we talk about science fiction and themes of like artificial intelligence, and we watch movies and make fun of them and listen to Carrie connect Law and Order actors to them. And that started as a Westworld fan cast that just sort of we kept going when the she had spun out of control is a good way to put it. And we also do a show called Sketching Comedy, which is a YouTube show and also a podcast with Imran Javed, where we talk about an artist or a comedian. And while Carrie sort of educates us on their careers, Imran and I will draw during the show live. And we We just kind of have a casual conversation while we're drawing and see what we come up with by the end of it. It's just a really fun, good time, and we tend to learn something about artists that we've followed for a long time. Probably every week I've picked up something new from Carrie or the encyclopedia that is Imran.
Oh my God, yes, she's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think on that show too. Like, what's kind of neat is I kind of go in blind. I don't really know anything about any of the illustrators or the comics. The things I do that are in my wheelhouse are the comedians. But basically, the show is based mostly off drawing, and it focuses on Phil and Imran. And I just kind of I get to research, and it's a lot of fun for me to find out all the the backstory behind things that maybe even the most educated person who is, a comic book junkie might not have known. And we come up with some really cool, fun facts that you wouldn't know on that show. So I really like that show. And our Brokebot show basically we started that because Phil and I and David Luzader is also on that show. We started on Facebook talking after the show Westworld came out, like the first episode, and I'm like, oh my God. And our thread was like 30 pages long about this show. And I said, I run this network, hey, you guys want to do a show on this? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, how quick can we do it? Because there's already been, I think there's 2 shows out by then, right?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks in.
Yeah, it was like, we got to catch up. So I literally made a podcast overnight, and it was within 2 or 3 days, and we got this thing going. So the first couple of episodes, if you listen back, they're a little rough, but we got through them, and we just really got into Westworld. And then we were done. We were like, we really like doing this. What do we do? So we started to spin this web of science fiction and Westerns, which is a weird genre to get into, but it exists. It's a genre. It's you've got people that are into Westerny sci-fi things, and there's tons of them. And I would have never known. So Phil makes me watch all these weird movies. And the other part is too, which Phil likes to annoy me, where I annoy him with Law and Order. He likes to find a film that I absolutely don't want to watch. And he's like, hey, this fits into our schedule. I'm like, dang it. All right. What do we got to watch? And I don't like scary films. And so he has now managed to get me to watch.
Oh, you've watched one scary movie.
There's been 2 or 3. You've got me through a couple.
And you're going to watch
Stop being such a baby about it and just watch the movie.
And you're going to watch Sharknado now, right?
Yeah. We'll figure out a way to bring that.
We could probably fit Sharknado into our schedule somewhere.
Yeah.
I think you have to.
Show that we do is Trivia Geeks, which you guys have been on a couple of times because you're hooked.
We have.
So that's done every week. Sometimes Phil's on that if we need to
once in a while. Yeah, I'll pinch it.
Once in a while. But Imran hosts that, and that is just a crazy all balls out kind of a podcast where it's I think a lot of people get scared at first. Like, oh, you want to come on Trivia Geeks? Oh, I don't know trivia. I'm like, really? Me either. It's my show. Come on. Yeah. You just come on the show.
There are no prizes. There are
no prizes. You win nothing. You don't have to be, smart or knowledgeable of anything. We ask really strange off-the-wall questions, and it's just it's a lot of fun, and it's to meet new people and to get podcasters' names out there and just have fun, relax, instead of just sometimes a lot of these podcasts that you're into, you're so intense. Believe it or not, it's having to do a show like this takes a lot of research and things like that. With Trivia Geeks, it's fun, man. It's grab your beer, have a seat, we're doing a show. Let's just have fun and get to know each other. So
Trivia Geeks always reminds me of the 70s game shows, like the Match Game and Hollywood Squares, where they were all drunk and it was more about the joke answer than the right answer. Yeah. And it was just,
of course,
they were just almost comedy shows.
I think it works better that way than if they actually know the answer.
Yeah.
Well, when it originally started, it was more focused, on trivia, and I'm like, I don't think that's where this should go, because I'm like, what's fun about it is don't Google this answer. Don't look this up. I'm like, take a wild guess because it's funny. You don't, and the thing is, it's not about being right. It doesn't matter. And you get bragging rights. And what's really funny is, I was talking to Drew last night. Drew Papsky is another co-host on that show. I was talking to him last night. I'm like, do you remember who won last week? He's like, no. I'm like, do you remember who won the week before? He's like, no. I'm like, see, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I was like, all that matters right now is that I'm kicking your ass. That's it.
Very cool.
Very cool. Well, we'll get to some details later on in the episode how you can find Carrie and Phil, because they're both great people, very, very funny, and I can guarantee that you will love their podcasts. But first things first, let's talk about a new movie coming out with Zac Efron. Now, Zac Efron is super famous from the Disney Channel, from doing the movie Neighbors and Neighbors 2. He has been cast now in a role that probably is the most different from anything he's ever done. He's been cast as Ted Bundy in a new psychological thriller called Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. So, is everybody aware of Ted Bundy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Patrick?
Oh, yeah, I'm aware of who he is. I didn't know Zac Efron was doing that, though.
Yeah, this is... Like, this news clip came out, and I've been trying to research who's directing, what studio it's from. I can't find out a lot of details, except that the movie is going to be told from the perspective of Bundy's longtime girlfriend, Elizabeth Klepfer. So there's that. And I'm already thinking, like, there's so many true crime podcasts out nowadays that they've got to be covering this week, I would assume. Patrick, what do you know about Ted Bundy?
He was a handsome man. Yeah. He was a very handsome man, and there was a lot of people that felt that there was no way that he could have been the one behind the terrible murders because he was just too good looking and too charming. But in actuality, he was. So actually, I've got a photo in front of me of the split screen of the two, and it's actually not a bad idea. Zach looks very similar. I mean, he looks like he could be Ted Bundy.
Yeah, there's a side-by-side, and apart from maybe the curls that Ted Bundy actually had, but, movie magic can make his hair curly.
Yeah, I think they have to 70s him up a little bit.
Oh,
He's a little too... handsome guys now are a little too pretty. And 70s handsome, I think, is a little bit different. But I do like that this is the first time I've ever been interested in seeing a Zac Efron movie.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Because I think this is a pretty good bit of casting to have just an insanely good-looking, charismatic person play Ted Bundy that's right. That's spot on. So I like it.
Do we think that this is going to be a good move for Zac Efron, or does anybody feel like this is a completely bad casting?
I think I like to see actors kind of, mix it up a little bit and to shock you with good acting once in a while. I mean, I'll tell you, like when Brad Pitt came on the scene, he's a good example for me. He was, a soap opera star. And I think he was like on General Hospital, probably. And I remember, and I would watch it as a kid, homesick or whatever. My mom had those things going on all the time, so I would catch him and like, oh, he's cute. And all of a sudden, I just saw him like in a movie. And to imagine that he came from there and has grown as an actor, and it doesn't matter if he's pretty or not. I mean, but he's done some really good stuff. Which, by the way, Phil, I finished 12 Monkeys. Anyway, but he's done some really good things, and he's amazing in them. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that it's a good move for him career-wise. I mean, coming off of, was it Baywatch, Kissing the Rock? I think this is probably...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
probably that. Like, hey, let's go ahead and throw something with a little depth in it in my resume, if that's okay, So, yeah, I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I guess my only issue with this is that do we really need a movie on Ted Bundy? Do we really?
Do we need a Sharknado 5?
No. Same answer.
I'd rather see Ted Bundy than Sharknado. How does that sit with you?
Terrible.
I know.
I think this is cashing in on the true crime craze that's going on right now. Like we see it in podcasting, stuff like The Jinx. I'm watching The Keepers on Netflix right now.
Right.
There's true crime documentaries spinning out all over the place. So I think we'll probably get more movies like this, especially if this one does well.
So moving on from that little clip, I've got kind of a significant piece of news about Star Wars. There was a Vanity Fair shoot that was on the scene this week, and from the shoot, we learned 5 new tidbits about The Last Jedi. So, in no particular order, we found out that Luke comes out of hiding, which is not like a huge surprise.
What?
But apparently he's been living in a village among an indigenous race of caretaker creatures that are not Ewoks. Don't worry, the Ewoks are not coming back.
Oh, can I guess? Do we know?
Know what?
Wait, what the creatures are?
No, but Patrick, please guess.
I think it's a whole island of Yodas.
Oh no.
Yeah, where did Yoda come from? He came from the island of Yodas.
But that's not what it's called. It's called Acto.
Which is some language for Yodas. It's Yoda for Yoda. That's what it is.
Remember how we said earlier that the Lucy noise would be annoying all the way through a ride? I think if we heard that the whole time. Plus, that to me still sounds a little bit like the Skeksis from Dark Crystal, so... Yeah.
And he does that could just be...
It's a planet of Lucy's.
It's a new ringtone, really.
It's a planet of Lucille Ball. That's what it is. The second fact, we find out that Benicio del Toro is playing someone named DJ in the movie. He's a shady character.
Wait, he's our sponsor.
Benicio del Toro?
No, TJ.
That's nobody. This guy plays DJ.
Oh, my bad.
As in disc jockey.
Okay.
Not table jockey or... I don't know. I just that's the first word that came to mind. Anyway, we have Veronica Ngo, who plays Paige Tico. We have the regular cast is returning, but we just kind of learned some names about these other characters. We find a new city called Canto Bight, which is like a Star Wars Monte Carlo type environment. And we also found out that Finn starts the movie on the mend inside what they call a Bacta suit, which is a regenerative immersion tank. And also Kylo Ren was scarred after his battle with Rey towards the end of the movie, so they're kind of in recovery mode. And then the last little tidbit, they say that Carrie Fisher is quite a force in the Last Jedi.
Aww.
And which is it's sad to read, but if she finished strong, then it's going to make it all the more special to see. So, are you guys really into Star Wars?
Oh yeah,
I
love it.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything else?
It's our era. It's definitely like our era. We grew up with it, so it's like a little bit preform. I can't preformy. That's a word. That's the whole word. Forget tickle. Pre-4. Prefore. Oh my gosh. Predates my birth is what I was trying to say, and pre-4 came out of my mouth.
I get it.
You can catch this on any of our shows weekly, by the way.
How Carrie speaks.
That's how I speak. But yeah, we kind of grew up with these, and I know Phil loves them too. And with your kids. Reagan, not so much. Reagan's not a big fan. Where is she? Where's my kid? She hates... C-3PO.
Oh,
I love these. Yeah. So her and Phil get into it all the time. It's really funny. He kind of taunts her with C-3PO a little bit. She's just like, why? She has a big problem with the continuity of the show. The fact that sometimes it's Princess Leia and sometimes it's Princess Leia.
Yes.
Sometimes it's Han Solo. Sometimes it's Han Solo.
Yep.
She's like, just get it together. Pick a way to say
She
her
has
name.
the weirdest hang-ups about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, she doesn't care about the storyline. It's like that's what she gets stuck on is Princess Leia, whatever.
I get it.
Yeah, well, along with what they were saying about Carrie Fisher, they were saying that she was having an absolute blast with the filming of it, and that the minute she finished wrapping up her scenes, she grabbed the director and said, I better be at the forefront of episode 9. And very sad. It seems like, she was having a really good time with it and just was really relishing her time with her co-stars. Yeah.
That's too bad.
So again, Last Jedi comes out December 15th, 2017. Do we have a countdown? Do we know how many days?
I've got other things to count down for.
I know you do. Your widget on your phone is full.
It is full.
What's before that?
Full.
It's full. It's full. Not fool. Fool is like a clown, a jester.
All right.
Full.
All right, covered. Got it.
Anyway, I've got one little more tiny news clip. Like I said, this week was just kind of slow for big news clips, but they're still entertaining. Game of Thrones is coming back this summer with a abbreviated season. So we're not going to be finished with the epic storyline of Game of Thrones this year. But the bad news is that we may be waiting till 2019 to finish this saga. The producers have come out to say that they're going to give them as much time as they need to finish the show. So that may be 2018 or 2019. We're going to be waiting a long time for just the final 6 episodes. So you guys have to be into Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, I love that show, but at the same time, like I'm slowly getting more and more annoyed with them doing this.
Me too.
At first I was like okay with it when you could like stream them on Netflix or whatever, but like, for example, I'm back into watching House of Cards, which hooked, but I hate the fact that I'm like I have to wait like a whole year. Like, why don't give me? Just do this. This is what I want. Okay, so producers, just do this. Give me like a half an hour of this, like every week. Do my 26 weeks or whatever it is. Let me wait my summer, like when I was growing up, and then have that September broadcasting come back, and then we get to sit down and watch Game of Thrones again. I mean, I can't handle like Westworld like a year and a half before it comes back.
Yeah.
Phil and I have to do a completely different show because we have to wait for
waiting
Westworld.
for Westworld to come back.
Oh.
Yeah, and at first I was okay with it, but now I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I end up forgetting the show. I end up not caring about it so much. I end up getting invested in something else for a while. Like, a good example is The Leftovers. Now, Bill, don't say anything because I haven't finished it yet, but The Leftovers, it's like I started that, and then I completely forgot about it for like 2 years. And I'm like, oh, God, I got to watch that again. So it's like one of those things. I don't know if we've got too much TV, and there's just too many things to watch, or that there's so many different venues to watch things now.
Yeah.
It's driving me nuts.
Yeah. So when does the new season come back? July, like 17th, something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. They do that.
down.
They do that with Game of Thrones. They do that with Sherlock. They do that with
Sherlock
House
is
of Cards.
awful.
They do
Yeah.
that with, spit them out, people. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, obviously,
I'd
Sherlock.
rather have a half an hour, and then I'm serious. Like, give me a half an hour, cut it off, and then like give me another half an hour in the next week, because it's like it's nice to sit down with like your family and watch like a show,
right?
Like on a Sunday night or whatever. But maybe not Game of Thrones. You don't want to watch it like the kids.
or Westworld. Yeah.
Yeah,
not with the kids.
Unless you're me, and I'm like,
I don't think it's the half hour thing that's holding them up. They're still going to make the same amount of content. Mm-hmm. I just feel like they're dragging their feet for whatever reason. Maybe they're not sure where it's going since there's no books guiding them anymore.
Is it because the production is just? I mean, TV
it could be production
is almost as big as movies now. Like, I mean, I can't even see the difference. I was actually shocked when I was shown the new Star Trek series that's coming out. I was like, oh, cool. Is Chris Pine in this? Or like, this isn't a movie. This is TV. I'm like, really? I mean, and is that what's doing it? It's so much of a production now that they need a year and a half, just like you would in a movie, to get it out. I mean,
I honestly think Game of Thrones is dragging their feet because they don't know. They want to end it on the biggest crescendo, and they're not quite sure how to get there or what is going to blow everybody away. The expectations are so high for the show that I would guess they're probably having trouble living up to it. So I don't know. I think this, at the end of the day, hurts the fan base. I think they're going to lose some audience who is going to get tired of waiting around 2 years for the last like 6 episodes. It's not even a full season.
Right.
And just like people are saying, yeah, I would read the books, but I don't want to start the book series because Martin is never going to write that last book. And I think people are just going to end up walking away from the show in the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll be there come July to watch it. And I feel like I tried to get into the books at one point, and I got maybe like 50 pages in and just... It's wordy. It takes a while to kind of get into his style of writing, but once you do, it's very engaging. But it does take maybe 20 to 30 pages to kind of get in the groove. That's my dog barking. Bailey, be quiet. My dog does make noise, unlike yours.
Stop it, you.
Usually a lot of noise. So, guys, tell us where we can find your shows and how to listen, the best way to listen, and go ahead and plug all your stuff.
The best way you could find us is just go to blazingcariboustudios.com. All of our shows are listed on there, between Sketching Comedy, Trivia Geeks, Broke Bottom Mountain, and all the other shows that we do there. We have about 8 shows right now that you can listen to. You can always listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn. We're kind of everywhere these days, so you can reach us in all those places. Or Twitter, you can catch us at, I'm at Carrie Sims 1, and Phil is shockingly at Phil Rude. So
yeah, I can't believe it was available.
And it's Rude, like R-O-O-D, not
R-O-O-D. Yes.
Yeah, not Phil Rude. He's Phil Rude like the food, not Phil Rude.
Rude like food.
Rude like food.
Phil,
That's
you
how it
could
works.
make your own podcast based off the phrase from Full House, "How rude."
How rude.
I could, but I'm not going to because it would be related to Full House. But I could probably build a whole podcast on the way people mispronounce my name.
Well, there you go. I mean, I would listen.
So,
I would tune in.
Yeah, it would be really thrilling. This week's pronunciation, road. Road. Okay, thank you. We'll see you next week.
It'd be the shortest podcast ever, but that's what we need. We don't need...
But you know what? It would have taken you an hour and a half to record that because you would have went in a Zencaster and out of Zencaster.
It would have dropped me like 6 times. Yeah, it would have been horrible.
Well, guys, we want to thank you for being with us today. Again, such a pleasure to have you on our show. This has been a long time in the making, and we are so happy to have you on. If you would like to tune into older episodes of See Here's the Thing, you can subscribe to us on iTunes or check us out on our webpage, seehere'sthething.com. You can find us on all sorts of social media. You can even leave us a voicemail on our website if you would like to. Other than that, this has been episode 56. We will see you next week. And then we're going to be taking some weeks off because we are going to be traveling. So have a fun start to your summer, and we will see you later. Bye.
See Here's the Thing is brought to you by Grisey Audiovisual, All Enact Theater Company, and our Patreon sponsors, TJ, Megan, and Judy.